Hello, stitchy friends. Welcome to my strange corner of Flosstube, where I gather like-minded people who like to stab things. My name is Jess of Springheeled Jack. My piece is upside down, so that's a great start to the video. So welcome. This is what you get, folks. This is Flosstube number 11. Some updates of what I've been stitching over the past couple weeks. So I'm going to show you my whips. I'm going to show you some finishes as well as some plans, but I have a couple quick announcements first. First announcement is I'm going to be doing 2 virtual retreats that are coming up soon. So I hope if you have the time and chance to go to them, that maybe we'll meet up somewhere in the, in the ether of the internet while we're doing these virtual retreats. But the first one is coming up this week. So if you see this when it's passed, but it's Lindy Stitch's Midsummer Stitch. I did Harvest Moon Hangout last year and I enjoyed it. I've not done Jingle Ball yet, but I wanted to do Midsummer Stitch. So that's a virtual event that's hosted online. All you need to do is come as you are, bring your comfy clothes, your favorite drink, and whatever piece you want to work on. There are presenters of designers. There's going to be live Flosstube sessions this year. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. We've had Josh of Cross Stitch in Cambria and Museum Stitcher I'm kind of looking forward to in particular. Also, I'm really interested to see what other Flosstubers there are. I've been kind of clicking around and seeing what people are doing on Flosstube beyond just like the algorithm and what it's being fed to me. I want to see what other types of Flosstubers are out there. So I've been having fun doing that lately. Seeing a lot of folks I'm really enjoying Flosstubers who are from overseas, probably the most. So I'm enjoying folks who I see who are in England, Canada's not overseas, but it's not the US, Scotland and Australia. So I'm looking forward to seeing them, seeing their work, and just meeting people at the event. So let me know if you're going to be going to Midsummer Stitch and maybe we can catch each other in a room. So I'm going to be doing that one, and that is going to be July 18th through 19th. So it is a 2-day event. The second one that I saw pop up on Facebook, and then of course I had to do it, had to do it, is Cross Stitch Society's Fellowship of the Floss. And those numbers, of course, my page went away. Of course it did. Is going to be in August, and that is also a virtual retreat. It is going to be August 27th through 30th, and I'll link all that information below for Fellowship Floss and for Lindy Stitches, so you can go to their websites and buy tickets. So Fellowship of the Floss is a Lord of the Rings themed, so I'm really excited about that one. I love Lord of the Rings. I love binge watching Lord of the Rings. It's always hard to get someone to do that with you. My coworker maybe a couple months ago was telling me that they started a tradition where they like kind of watch it on a holiday weekend or like Thanksgiving. I'm like, gosh, I just wish I could get my family to do that with me because that would be so much fun. It's usually just me binge watching something and then they kind of peter off. So I'm excited to binge watch Lord of the Rings and stitch Lord of the Rings stuff with folks there. And also they will be having a patterns that are included when you purchase that, and that will be on Discord. So I will post that information there. The Lindy Stitches it's $15 for a ticket, and then they also have additional classes, and they have exclusive shoppings and patterns. Fellowship of the Floss is $40, but includes all of the patterns, and also it is raising money for charity. Let's see if I can check that charity really quick. Yes, a portion of registration goes to Kids in Need of Defense Kind. So that's another thing if you are interested in attending some virtual events. So I'm looking forward to those coming up in the next months. Let me know if you're going to go to them. And speaking of charity pieces, well, as I was going through trying to clean up after StitchCon, I realized I had way too many pieces that were finished but not framed. And this one was Self Worship by Night Spirit Studios, and it had been finished for, I would say, like maybe 2 years, a year and a half. Embarrassing. And I purchased a frame for it, and then that sat there for a long time, just literally sitting on my shelf. So this is Night Spirit Studios Self Worship, and this was part of a um, group of designs that came out for reproductive rights. So it's a gothic uterus in a gothic style. I'm gonna try to tilt it maybe a little bit some more. If I don't, if you might see you're gonna see the light there. If I tilt it up too much, you're gonna see the reflection. But I will also put this when I do my downward facing camera. I will show off this a little bit more detailed. But I did that and I said, I don't think I can let this sit here and be unfinished when all the pieces are right there. So I finished that up. I need to put a hanger in it because again, it didn't come with one and I already held it upside down once. So I need to hang this up. Oop, pardon me. Pardon me for the burp. Somewhere special. So, that's what I've been working on, as well as doing all my other whips and crazy plans. And Flosstube wise, I've been, I said earlier, I was dabbling around and seeing what other people are doing. And so my featured person who I've been really binge watching Flosstube is Anxiety.Stitch. They're from Australia, and I found them through people sharing their information on Instagram, and I watch them, and I really enjoy her content. It's very much they did a Witchy Stitcher May stitch along with their friend Rose Cottage Stitches, I believe that is. I'll double check and I'll tag them both below. So I was really excited to see another floss tuber who's doing Witchy Stitcher patterns and culture patterns and just kind of the other stuff that you don't see on a maybe regular floss tube rotation. I'm hoping that when you come to my channel that you see some stuff that maybe not be out of the ordinary, because the world of cross stitch is so varied and there's so much to stitch, and we don't necessarily have to do the most popular Sal or the most trending things from marketplace. It's fun to like find a pattern or a different designer, or even just pick up like an old dimension kit that was sitting around and stitch that too. So so I'm going to hopefully do the smoothest transition maybe, and then I'm going to show you my plans, my finish, my whips, and then some finishes. All right, and welcome back. Hopefully that was a smooth transition. So I'm going to start this segment off with a little bit of haul and some plans, and then I'll show you what I've been working, how my whips have been going in the past couple weeks. So I've got the back today is part of my haul. I'll take the floss off for a hot second. But this fabric is by Black Dahlia Fabrics. It is a cryptid, or it's cryptic is the collection, but they have them named after certain cryptids. And once I saw that on their Instagram, I was like, oh, I love it. So I was actually trying to get this ready for a piece, and I had a disappointment when I went to my local needleworks shop. I had gotten all of these colors, and then they said, you need anything else? I said, yeah, I'm looking for some green fabric. And they kind of raised one eyebrow and they said, linen or Ada? And I said, well, even weave, actually, if you have any. And then they raised both eyebrows and looked at me like I'd grown another head. And they said, well, I don't think I've got anything over there. And I was like, well, that's okay. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. So later I'm browsing into them again, and I see that Black Dahlia Fabric says, oh yeah, I can do any sort of custom cut or ever. So I messaged them actually like right before July 4th weekend, and I said, hey, I'm looking for this piece that's just, a little bit, more square than a fat quarter. Would you be able to do something like that? And I said, no rush, because it's a holiday. And they said, I'll get working on that tomorrow. So I had this within the next week. So fantastic job. So I want to do Owl Forest Embroideries 100 Owls. It's been on my wish list for a long while. And I actually started by wanting to get the floss pack. I thought, I'm going to buy the floss pack because their hand-dyed threads look absolutely gorgeous. So I bought the kit and the fabric, put another kit in, and the shipping price was like the price of the products and then some. And I'm like, ugh, I just don't know if I can drop $200+ to ship 2 kits. So I decided I would do a floss conversion in my madness. So this is what you kind of see here. I went online to 133 Stitch and I kind of took the Owl Forest. They already have a DMC version. So I took that and I started plugging it into all of these different dies. And then I went with my iPad and all my screenshots of those dies to my local needlework shop and buzzed back and forth for like 20 minutes, like a very sane person, trying to find what I wanted. So I thought I had an idea of what I wanted just by looking on the website of the colors, but like seeing them in person is a completely different thing. So I have like the whole crew here. I've got some classic color works for some grays, a little bit of pinks. Got weak dye works for some more grays and this kind of, you know, over dyed yellow and green. Got some gentle artists sampler threads for those other neutral colors. And then I actually got lucky. Romney's Creations here had colors that really did match, kind of almost on point to what Owl Forest was, because there was one that was a kind of cream and orange, and then one that was a very intricate over-dyed one as well. And I couldn't see anything from these groups that was kind of fitting in, but I will give it a shot. I mean, I'm not complete. I think maybe the one that makes me maybe question is this Mother's Day. I don't know how it'll look when I start stitching it, but I'll give it a go. And if not, and I don't like it, I can just go back to the DMC and use this for another project because it's a great dye fabric. So that's one of my first plans that I want to start doing stuff. So now I have my fabric and I have my colors and I have my dream. Also, the 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery is a free sal that they did. So you can go to their website and download it for free. So pack up my threads. Talk about my other things I want to do. I want to kind of do some smalls that I want to work on. And I want to do some bookmarks. That's what I'm hankering to do. And the main reason I'm hankering to do is because I finished this bookmark and someone chewed on it. This is the work of Dipper. I don't know why. I finished a book and I put this bookmark out of the book to return the book to the library, and 10 minutes of unsupervisedness, he decided it must have smelled just like me and gobbled it up. So this is Final Girl by the Groomy Gremlin, and you're in luck because when I first got this pattern, it was part of the bookmark package that they did with Starry Stitchy. I'll have to double check what that was again, but it was part of that charity package where you bought the whole thing. Now this is actually on their website, so you can buy this pattern directly from the Groomy Gremlin. Get it just straight from Etsy. I've bought not Etsy, scratch that. Get it straight from their website, the Groomy Gremlin. You'll get it just as fast as Etsy, and they won't have to incur any fees. So I want to remake this because it was eaten. And then I also have another bookmark that was in my pattern stash. That's from Flossie Fox videos, and I think it was one of those, Ko-Fi, pay what you want patterns, and it's a similar vein of black background and 8-bit cute Halloween pastel kind of thing. So I want to get out 2 of these and make a new one of this, and then do that other one for Halloween. And then also I started late night because it's also on my to-do list. I started a needle lot design, the cathedral window. Oh my gosh, you can, yeah, it's on the clear, perforated plastic Ada here. So it doesn't really show up when it's far away, but I just started that last night. So I would also like to do that. And that is in their new book that just came out. Pardon the noise. That's Guillermo behind me. He decides to give his ear a good stretch. He's in the studio office with me. Dipper's not allowed because, well, he eats things. So those are my plans for what I'm working on. So I'll do a little recap of my whips. There he goes again. He wants to let you know he's here. So, working some more on America's Booty. Once I get this shield and this back black done, got the whole rest of this pattern good. So this is maybe a fourth of the way done. It's all butt cheeks over here. Butt cheeks, butt cheeks. So lots of blue. Hoping just go through and do those block by block. I have no clue when I'm going to finish this. And, you know, it's a summer patriotic piece, but also I'm kind of feeling towards Halloween. I'm kind of like, it's time for Halloween. So I'll just still keep that in my rotation, pick it up when I feel good. It's an easy one to work at because once I start getting these black designs and kind of the outlines of stuff, it's just blocks of color. So it's something easy to pick up when you just don't feel like stitching, but don't feel like thinking so much. And then on the same vein, I have my We the Women by Cecilia Turner. And I've started working on that. This is the one that me and my friends from StitchCon are doing as a stitch along. Some people are already finished. Overachievers, you know who you are. Adrienne. Diane. I am not. I think this dress is going to be the Mount Everest of this piece. Once I get through the dress, and it should all be smooth sailing up here. But I gotta get through this dress, her basket. I gotta finish up these W's, which unfortunately I was watching The Witch, and I kept looking at these W's. I'm like, why do these W's look like the title for The Witch? Because it's 2 V's, double V, W. So I keep thinking about that while I'm working on this pattern. And I don't think that's what the pattern maker had in mind when she made this nice, cozy pattern. She probably wasn't thinking of The Witch, but that's what I'm thinking of. And I've got 2 more big W, double V's to work on. So that's my progress there. And it is all in the called for colors. Supposed to put initials here. I'm still deciding if I want to put my initials there or if I want to maybe just do some more quilt blocks. But I got to get this dress done first. So once I get over that hurdle, I think I can opine about what else I want to do. So those are my 2 whips that I was working on the past couple of weeks. And I had another start of a whip for my Whip Go, which last time we talked about which Christmas pattern I wanted to do. So I did choose the Friste Noël by Jardin Privé. Pardon my French. I'm working on it. So I decided that I was going to do this one. I had the variegated threads, and I started it just a little bit. I just used this on some scrap, Ada. I have like a big, almost bolt that I think I picked up from someone, like a craft swap or something, and it's really soft, which is, nice for Ada. But then as I started going along and looking at the pattern, these lines right here, they go in the middle of the hole. So I'd have to split the Ada to make these lines here. And I am not feeling that. So I'm going to order some even weave to work on that instead. And it's okay because I only got that much done. So I don't mind starting over on a new piece of fabric. So still a little bit of Christmas in July, but we'll see how motivated I am to continue that. This may not be a checking off for Whip Go in July, but c'est la vie. I also have my at work project was the Paris Opera House, but I only get to stitch on about maybe 30 minutes a day or so, if I get a lunch break. So I'll bring that out next time when there's a little bit more progress on. So we're going to finish up with some finishes. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm here all week. So I finished up cherry blossoms, and wow, like as I said before, it is a bit deceptive that it's just the same motif over and over again, and you think, I got it. It's the same thing. I know the pattern of this by heart, but you really have to pay attention to make sure that you do not miscount. So at a point when I was looking at this, I kind of basically took the magnet and I would do my little marker, which is just a magnet board with like a regular magnet for my fridge, nothing fancy. And I would go by the diagonal. So I would just stitch down the diagonal of whatever color I was doing. So finished up the trees. I started a little bit on the green and then went to the rest of the pink. It's kind of washed out a bit just because I want some light so you guys can actually see the project. But the green is like the color is absolutely delightful. This darker green, the light green's not so much. And actually this gray, which is Glass Slipper by Gentle Artist Sampler Threads, is really pretty up close. So I think this is almost like one of those fun magic eye things. It looks better far away, but it also, if you get up to the details, it's really close. I was actually genuinely surprised about the how this gray turned out. I thought it was going to be pretty bland, but the variegated thread in this is actually really pretty. And unfortunately, the camera is just not doing it any justice. But that is Cherry Blossoms, and this is by Works by ABC. And this was a StitchCon purchase in 2025, and I actually also got the daffodil pattern, which, look, I have enough fabric to do it on the back, because I love this. It's a mushroom Lagana 32 count. And I have this not only for the cherry blossoms pattern, but I cut half off and used it for the We the Women's pattern. And now we've got enough to get that daffodil, I think. I believe the daffodil is the same dimensions of this. If it's bigger than that, I might just have to get a new piece of fabric. But looking forward to finding a nice frame for that, and then also working on the daffodil. Because I think if I'm in the mindset of this geometry, I can tackle it again without feeling too crazy or too intimidated. But again, this is a simple but a fun challenge pattern as well. Definitely check out Works by ABC. They do a lot of geometry and mandalas that go beyond this, but this was a really cute pattern, and I love it. And I love cherry blossoms. One day I will get to Washington, D.C. to see them in the springtime. Hopefully they are not destroyed or dug up to put stupid crap in there, because these were a gift from Japan over 100 years ago to the United States, and First Lady Taft was the one who made sure they had a dedicated space in our nation's capital. So one of my bucket lists is to go see the cherry blossoms in DC. And then I will show off closer my long finished but finally finished object by Night Spirit Studios. Like I said, oh, you're going to see my light there. Whoopsie. This is just plastic here. I've had this frame forever. And I finished this a long time ago. And it sat right next to the frame for much longer than it should have. So let me see if I can adjust the focus. Oh, nope, I focused too hard. All right, I'm going to see if I could adjust the focus to make us go out just a little bit more on that light. But I'm glad I finally got this together. and put it in a frame because it's quite deserving. It is not just, you know, a cross-stitch design. It is probably close to one of the things that I consider like a work of art in design work that was done. From just the design, the motifs, the symbolism, and then of course the excellent choice of colors. So that is by Night Spirit Studio. You can get that stuff directly from their website. It is still in operation by their partner Ash Spirit, so thank them for doing that so we can continue to share the amazing work of Sage of Night Spirit Studios. So another hopefully smooth transition, and then I'll follow up with what I'm doing later. Oh, see, I dragged him on camera and he's not happy about that. For anyone who's new, this is Guillermo and he's one of my stitching buddies. He is always by my feet when I'm trying to stitch, and when I put my feet up on the recliner, it has always been a fight of who is going to sit on my feet. And wouldn't you always know it, when you get ready to stitch and you're all cozy and you got all your stuff gathered and the dog is on your feet, that is the moment when someone will ring your doorbell, someone in your family will need help, or you have to get up and pee, and all of that work goes out the window. So, just like some other quick life updates that I've been doing. I apologize for putting the curse on that it was hot 4th of July. Last video I said, like, it'll be hot 4th of July. It always is. And it was so hot. So I hope that you guys got to beat the heat, stay inside, and stitch away on what you're working on. Or if you celebrated it outside, you know, good for you. We just did like a little bit. We went to the Doodah parade, which is very comical. Momo, you're slipping off my lap. And then just like kind of hung out because we did get some rainstorms, so we didn't really make work plans. And then kind of cool down, but now it's just kind of going to be, you know, that heat of the summer. So, perfect time to stay in and do plans for stitching. So, and other stuff, gosh, I've had, some change at work. My like right hand gal is giving her 2 weeks notice, and I'm really happy for them. I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed. How am I going to replace them? And then also I have kind of done a meetup of in real life friends. I'm in a couple of like local meetups, but I have my friend Kate and then my other friends who we know through our 4score7 Pongs community that do our gaming marathon. And of course, every time we meet up to game or plan or hang out, it's usually a group of us who will bring stuff to craft, whether there's cross stitch, crochet, or knitting, or doing bullet journal. It's always a crafting. I'm like, why don't we just start our own like chapter of crafting for this community? So we had our kind of first like, you know, unofficial inaugural meeting. So I'm hoping to get a chance to meet up more frequently with my friends and just have time to sit and craft and have a lot of fun, because, you know, that's really relaxing. So if you made it to the end of this video for some engagement, let me know what ad on YouTube you get all the time that you can't stand, that you wish you could click, never show me this ad again. For me, it is that Skylight calendar. I'm not paying $600 for a calendar. I don't care if you give one to me. I will not use it. I'm sick of seeing it all the time. And the Meow Doku one is becoming up there like, find the cat. Where's the cat? I'm like, I don't care about the cat. When can I skip? So if you have an ad that comes up on your page all the time when you're watching Flosstube or whatever you like to watch on YouTube and annoys the ever-loving crap out of you, let me know in the comments. Share with us your grievances in the comments. So I hope everyone is well. Make sure to remember to stab fabric, not people. You all are too pretty to be sitting in jail. And me and Gary will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're like, please put me down.